What have you learned from your audience feedback? After showing my media product to a number of people, I took some of the audience members and asked them a few questions on their views on the film. In particular, what went well and what could have been improved on. From what they said, I found out the strongest point of my film was the storyline, editing and shots. They said that the storyline was original and it was charming. In terms of editing, they said there was a good use of nature shots and it had romanticised the story, and that it gave the idea of time passing, and that the toy truck had been searching for a very long time. Most of the nature shots of the swans and seagulls flying off were all coincidence and being at the right place at the right time. Nevertheless, they all added to the overall feel of the film, and they said the film was made more immersive and gave it personality. Another factor that was brought up was the use of editing. They said the music fit in very well, and the use of time-lapses made it feel as if time was going by. This was the intention, so I was glad to hear that it was received by the audience. I felt the music was a perfect fit for my film. This was a complete coincidence. I asked my family if they had any ideas, and A Simple Twist of Fate by Bob Dylan was the first suggestion. I listened to some of the lyrics, such as "They walked along by the old canal, and they sat together in the park," fit perfectly with my film. Not only this, but the music itself was appealing for all ages and suited the genre of film. However, they did mention a few improvements that I could look at. For example, they said that a lot of the film was spent on the truck trying to find Jamie, and they suggested this could have been shortened. They also mentioned that a couple of the shots were quite shaky. I would have to agree with both of these points that were raised. The reason that a lot of the film was of the truck looking for Jamie is because I wanted to use a variety of locations. Personally, I tend to enjoy a film with a vast variety of settings used rather than in the same place. I also had to make sure that I had enough footage to fit the film in time with the music. I believe that if I had to cut the music before the end, at the ending, it would feel slightly harsh and abrupt. But all in all, the footage did feel slightly dragged. The second point that was brought up was the fact that some of the camera shots were slightly shaky. I would again have to agree with this. Unfortunately, the problem occurred in my AES project as well, and I said to myself I would purchase a tripod for my A2 project. However, I never got round to this, and it showed in my project. Most of the shaky shots were during the tracking shots. To justify myself, I believe that they would have not made much of an improvement in the tracking shots. However, there is no doubt that I will be using a tripod if I ever make another short film again. I will also take into account how long some of the scenes were going on for and trying to make them more exciting and engaging for the audience.